Alright, what's up my NWAs? I'm sure all of you saw the Geoff, Keighley, and Kojima spit swapping session a few days ago, and I think it's safe to say that it was absolute dog shit as usual. You know, truly an event to kick off Pride Month. I mean, come on, aren't you excited for the future of gaming when we get even more Souls-likes, gacha games, DEI games, and MMOs, dude? But yeah, anyway, we might as well get right into it. I should also mention that I'm not going to be covering every game because honestly, dude, that would just take way too long. Like, sure, they may announce Go Dog Go, the video game, but I don't think anyone cares about that. I mean, maybe I would, but that's besides the point. So the first announcement of the show is Mortal Shell 2, and already, dude, I don't care. My Souls fatigue might just be worse than my Black fatigue at this point. It was cool when it was a novel concept, but the industry is so oversaturated with Souls-likes now that when I see a new video game as a Souls-like, I automatically don't want it. Who knows, maybe it'll be fine for all the Souls fans, but no one could convince me to give a singular shit about this genre anymore. I just want hack and slashes to return. And then next we get, oh my god, is that a heckin' Star Wars, dude? Oh, I heckin' love Star Wars. Yeah, no, millennials are the only ones who care about that franchise after Disney destroyed it. None of the Zoomers playing Fortnite care about that pile of shit. And then, of course, Kojima comes on stage to embrace his boyfriend Geoff. Like, for fuck's sake, stop putting this ESL retard on stage. It doesn't help that every time Kojima makes an appearance, they focus on him for like 15 fucking minutes. The people who constantly glaze him are extremely obnoxious. His writing is absolute dog shit that's full of exposition, and yet people act like he's some masterclass writer. And even worse, his ego is bigger than the goddamn sun, and he knows English yet refuses to speak it. We all know why. And I think all the shills should know why Kojima got fired by Konami. It wasn't because Konami was big mean, it's because he wasted fucking resources. And of course, because Geoff is having his Kojima glazing session, we get yet another Death Stranding 2 trailer. I didn't play the first and I'm not playing the second, although I guess there's not a lot of playing going on because this game might as well be a movie, which is pretty obvious based on the trailer. You may also notice that the male character has a interesting phenotype, but yeah, as I said, this is a major pass for me. Skipping a bit ahead, we get a Sonic Racing and Minecraft crossover. Really though, I don't care to focus on that, but what I do find notable is the fact that the Japanese guy on stage actually tries to speak English, unlike a certain other individual. I guess only some of us can be humble. And look what we have next, dude. Oh boy, another Souls-like, and it's Code Vein 2? I can't wait to consume my Bandai slop. I do actually own the first Code Vein, but I've never even bothered touching it. I've got no interest in another cheap, soulless, copy and paste anime game. Sometime after this, we get Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure this already released not that long ago and was universally considered complete dog shit, but I could be wrong. I've never had any interest in Game of Thrones, but what I do know is that people consider the second half of the show to be absolute sewage and the creator takes forever to write books. Next up, they announced one of the bigger games of the showcase, Atomic Heart 2. I never played the first, but I do know someone who was certainly interested in the game when we were watching this live. I will say that the setting does look pretty cool because it does remind me of BioShock Infinite quite a bit. I suppose the studio being Russian is a good sign because you already know they won't put any LGBT propaganda into it, as they are a pretty orthodox Christian country. So yeah, who knows, maybe I'll buy it. I'm not certain on that yet, but I am interested. They also announced a new game called The Cube, which is an MMO, and the first thing I noticed is that the female characters have the assets, I guess you could say. I guess that's to be expected from the only based European country. Next is a game called Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and you may notice that She-Hulk here has some pretty manly body proportions. Now obviously she's meant to be a muscular woman, but that means she's muscular with a female frame. Not that she looks like a literal fucking man. I actually saw people calling her Abby Zilla, which was pretty funny. Capcom then shows the new Onimusha game again. Maybe it'll be fun, who knows? I've never played Onimusha. I'd say the game looks fine, although I have to mention that the woman at the end of the trailer looks like a Thai ladyboy. We then get the game that absolutely no one asked for. Felt that botsing. Well, maybe Geoff Keighley asked for it, but I don't think anyone else did. Like, honestly, the obsession this G from the LGBT has with Muppets is obnoxious. Not a single fucking soul wanted this game. Now get excited for this next announcement, dude, because it's Arc Raiders where you get to play as a Black Queen. Yeah, I sure do love DEI in my video games. You don't even get to see what the actual game looks like because it's yet another CGI trailer. Although if we're being honest, it'll probably be a steaming pile of shit just based on the character choice in the trailer. Like honestly, why are they even still making games like this when they are all complete shit? Oh well, actually it's pretty easy to guess. These companies are all funded by a certain company that ends with rock to push propaganda in video games. A bit later, we get another slop title called Out of Words. This might honestly be an uglier game than South of Midnight. What's funny is it's another one of those artsy games that tries to be super deep. The only thing it accomplishes though is making me feel disgusted by the sight of it. It's also co-op because this is of course the new forced trend in the gaming industry. Like honestly though, who actually plays these shitty co-op games? I don't know a single person in real life who does. Next we get Mafia the Old Country. This has been shown before, so it's not really anything new, and it'll probably just be another cinematic game. I've never played Mafia and I don't really care to, so you know, I don't really see myself playing this. And of course now we have to listen to the hag from SpongeBob reveal the shitty new mobile looking SpongeBob game.
I hope you enjoy the first look at Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. Yeehaw!
But yeah, anyway, now we're on to a game that's being advertised as a Silent Hill-like, even by Geoff himself. First of all, who the fuck thought this looks like Silent Hill? Maybe if you're one of those tourists who thinks PT is Silent Hill, you might believe that. But if you've played even one of the Team Silent games, there's absolutely no chance in hell that you could even call this anything close to Silent Hill. I'm sure all the normies will eat it up though, because that's what the modern Silent Hill fan base is. Now we get a Deadpool VR game. I'm sure the 10 people who own a VR headset will be thrilled to play the game, but really dude, Deadpool is extremely obnoxious, and the last game I want to play is one where you have to listen to him screech for hours. Definitely one for the Goy Slob bin. Next we get a game that I'm actually looking forward to, which is Dying Light the Beast. That's definitely a first for this shit show. I really enjoyed the first Dying Light overall, and there's not a lot of games that have traversal quite like that game. Who knows though, it could end up being like Dying Light 2, which from what I've heard was pretty bad. Of course, I genuinely hope the game is good, because good games are so damn rare these days. I know it's crazy to say that, but that is the situation that gaming is in at this point. All the hacks and DEI hires get to stay in the industry to ruin your favorite franchises. And of course, we get a game called Mixtape, which looks a lot like Dustborn when it comes to the art style. You know, I'm sure it'll be about protecting trans kids, affirming trans rights, standing with Ukraine, Black Lives Mattering, and trans visibility being valid. And yes, YouTube, I support all these things. There's nothing quite like inhaling a trans breadstick in an Olive Garden parking lot. But yeah, I am surprised that all the characters are white and there's no diversity in shit. Jumping ahead because there's so much irrelevant shit, we get the most Reddit-coded game I've ever seen, Scum.
Haha, dude, shit hard, so lay heckin' funny. Oh man, that really got a Reddit chuckle out of me, boys.
But yeah, I hate this millennial humor shit. You aren't funny and you won't ever get a single ack out of me.
Oh my god!
They again show that Mind's Eye game, which looks like a shitty GTA clone, and it will of course be woke slob just based on the queen that we see at the start of the trailer. You couldn't convince me to have even the slightest amount of interest in this game. I already don't like GTA that much, and I won't like this shit either. Also, I just looked at the Steam page for this game, and it's sitting at a 4 out of 10. What else would I have expected? After that, they show Lego Party, which is just a clone of Mario Party. Whatever, I'm sure all the little Timmies will enjoy it. Blighted is another game they announced, which has the magical queens and kings. It also looks like mobile game slop. So much for small developer excellence. I'm sure it'll sell tens of copies. Ill was shown right after, and it actually looks fairly interesting. The game gives me RE7 vibes, and the enemy design is definitely pretty creepy. Of course, whether it'll be good on release is a mystery because it comes from a mystery developer, but I I do like the concept, and I am a fan of survival horror. I'll at the very least keep an eye on this game. Mecha Break gets another trailer, which was already announced. When this game was first shown, I thought it was Armored Core, but I guess it is similar. It looks fine from the gameplay I've seen, but there's not really a lot to say about it. Next, they show Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game, and dude, it just looks so good. An absolute masterpiece of the modern day. I'm sure it'll sell tens of copies. And before we move on to the next game, we get to see more of the Queen Goblin, Maggie Robertson. What a looker, dude. Maybe I should hit her up in her DMs. We then take a look at Last Flag, or remove the L, and that's a more accurate name for this game because it really just is Fortnite but more gay. I'm sure all the Fortnite kiddies will be converted to a game made by Imagine Dragons, and yeah, one of the people from that band is making this game. And if you unfortunately remember their music, then you know how much of an assault on the ears it is. I'll skip on DEI night. More gets shown for Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, and it really just looks like another Souls-like. I guess it is much faster paced based on the footage though, and the main female character is attractive, but as I said earlier, I don't care for more Souls-likes. Wu Kang Rise of the Deceiver gets announced next, and the wee wuzzery is off the charts with this shit. Although maybe I'd buy it if you could beat up enemies with a fried chicken leg. There's then Into the Unwell, which looks like a 3D Cuphead. I don't know, kinda looks weird, not really interested. Some guy wearing a Make FPS Great Again hat then comes on stage to show off Splitgate 2. I'm sure there will be plenty of controversy surrounding him wearing that hat among certain individuals. So maybe a base game developer, who knows. As far as the actual game goes itself, the Portal gimmick seems cool, but I can't really ever see myself playing these types of games. I've pretty much checked out for multiplayer shit. It might be fine though, or it might be bad. Either way, it was pretty wild to see this dude come on stage in that drip. The second to last game of the Summer Shit Fest is Stranger Than Heaven, which was formerly called Project Century. From what I know about the game, it's supposed to be like Yakuza, but set in the 40s, at least I think. I've never played the Yakuza games, but I know I have had some interest in playing them. And I do know the people that make these games actually make the games that people like. Who knows, maybe I'd try it. The last announcement is Resident Evil 9, or Requiem, I guess. A lot of these games are like a guilty pleasure for me, so I would say that I am looking forward to this. And I can't say that about a lot of games. Obviously, though, I'm not going to go in with blind optimism. Just look at RE3 Remake, which was a dog shit game. But yeah, Resident Evil is kind of like a dopamine hit for me. I am wondering, though, how the RPD partially survived a missile strike right in the center of the city, but it is a pretty cool setting at the very least. So that's it for the entire showcase, and it was pretty bad overall as expected. They did show 2 games that I know for a fact I'll play, but that doesn't really mean the showcase was good. There were other games that looked fine, but it was also filled with a bunch of slop titles that should not be in what's supposedly a big showcase. Anyway, I'm going to show a few games from some of the other showcases that I'll probably play. At the State of Play, there was the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, and personally, I think they should have gone with the Octopath art style when doing a remaster for this game. I'm sure I'll play the game because I haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics before, and I am a Final Fantasy fan, but the actual product looks very lazy. There was then Tormented Souls 2, which was shown at the Latinette Showcase because we're very inclusive and shit. A friend originally told me to buy the first Tormented Souls, and I did like the game quite a bit. It felt like the old Resident Evil games. I'm sure I'll review this game. Ninja Gaiden 4 was shown again at the Xbox Showcase, and it got a release date. This is maybe one of the 2 games that I can say I'm excited to play. It genuinely looks like a lot of fun, and if it turns out to be good, I do hope that it sells well. I'm getting sick of the constant Souls-likes, and it'd be nice to have a game that brings back hack and slashes. The last game is Morbid Metal, which was shown at the PC Gaming Showcase, and I'm shocked that something that looks cool came out of that shit pile. It's another hack and slash, which is my favorite video game genre, and I am getting some slight Nier Automata vibes from it. I'll probably try out the demo, and maybe I'll buy the game too. Anyway, that's the end of the video, so like and sub and shit to boost me in the algorithm.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill,